Hello guys, welcome back to another video. It's the boy 10 and today we're checking out Nisha. If I pronounced that right. And she's talking about what actually matters in our 20s. And I love videos like this because I am in my 20s and I want to gain as much perspective as I can from people who have lived through their 20s. So Nisha, let's see what you're talking about.
I spent most of my early 20s convinced I was behind on career milestones, behind on having my life figured out, behind on basically everything that social media told me I should have achieved by 25. But here's what I've learned after working across multiple organizations for over a decade and talking to hundreds of people, both mentors, head of departments, CEOs, about their biggest regrets and wins. And the thing we stress about in our 20s are rarely the things that actually matter. And the things that do matter, we barely think about. So in this video, I'm sharing the 6 things that looking back, I've realized truly matter in your 20s, the foundations that will set you up for a life with no regrets. Number 1, have a bias towards action. So many of us spend so long researching the perfect side business, the ideal workout routine, the best way to learn a new skill. We make detailed plans, create spreadsheets, watch all the YouTube videos, and then do everything additional except starting. And this was a lot of my 20s. I'd always find a way to convince myself that I wasn't ready just yet, that I needed to learn just a bit more before taking action. And I still find myself falling into this trap a lot and talking my way out of things. But I have to keep reminding myself and coming back to the core idea that is, you don't learn by thinking about something, you learn by doing it and then getting better. And there is a point where you need to stop over planning and start putting the work into action. Your 20s and your 30s are the ideal time to develop a bias towards action because that is the ideal time to build these habits. And it's also the time where you have fewer responsibilities and more room to mess up. The cost of failure is lower, but the learning potential is huge. If I could go back to my 20s, again, my early 20s, I would remind myself to start before feeling ready. Take the imperfect action rather than waiting for the perfect plan. You can always adjust course along the way, but you can't steer a ship that isn't moving. Number 2,
Um, I've never been that guy to not take action. In fact, I think whenever I learn something new, my body literally itches to put it into action. Like that's how I've always been. But I do understand that there are some people like that. I'm just saying I personally don't relate to that because I've always been a doer. Like I've always been that guy that once I feel like, oh, I want to do something, I'm going out to do it. Like there's no feeling of delay in my body. Like, oh, let's just wait small. We can maybe do it. If I'm not interested in something, yes, I procrastinate it. But that's not interested. When I'm interested in something, if I could do it that same day, I'm gonna do it. But I do understand how that could be a hindrance too in our 20s.
build your financial foundations. Your money decisions in your 20s might seem small, but they're actually disproportionately powerful. The habits you build now will either work for you or against you over the next 40 years. But most people think they'll just figure out money later, but later never actually comes. You get busier, you have more responsibilities, and suddenly you're 35, 45, 55, wondering why you haven't started. We spend 2 hours researching which restaurant to go to, but we won't spend 20 minutes learning how retirement works, even though that knowledge could be worth thousands and thousands in the future. It's honestly mind-blowing when you think about it. When you start learning about money in your 20s, understanding how compound interest works, figuring out the difference between bad debt, good debt, or just getting clear on where your money goes each month, you're setting yourself up completely differently. I remember when I first understood compound interest properly, it was like someone had just switched on a light. Suddenly, I could see why starting early mattered so much. It's not about being perfect or having loads of money to start with. It's about building that foundation of knowledge so that when opportunities do come up or when life does throw one of its curveballs, you know exactly how to handle it. Every bit of financial knowledge you pick up now is an investment that pays dividends for decades. Number 3, build.
And it's not just investments in money, like financially speaking, it's also in energy. It's also like putting in the workouts now. Like press ups a day looks small, but 10 press ups every day for 1 year, you're gonna see something drastic change in your body, bro. It's just the small things we do every day that builds up to big compounding results. So that business you want to start, that content you want to start posting, the first one is probably not going to blow up. In fact, the 70th one is probably not going to blow up. Most of those videos are going to be flops, they're going to be trash, they're going to be throwaways. But that's not the point. The point is the repetition and the skills and the mindset you build as you continue to do them over time. You understand? So by the time you're hitting your 200th video, 300th video, and then you start popping and you start finally seeing some results, it's not just the content that got better, you got better. You developed skills along the way, problem solving from all the obstacles you faced during the journey. Maybe your system was not working the right way. You went to do the research on how to make it work better, on the simple skills that you learn along the way, making thumbnails, things like that. I'm speaking about content creation because I can relate to that, because that's what I do. So it's in everything, not just finances. But yes, finances are also important. Learn to invest from a young age, guys. It's not earn and spend, it's earn, intend, and then spend. So
Build
I have 12 emails, 30 messages, and a proposal due by 10. How am I already underwater?
I'm in the same boat.
relationships over networking. The people who opened up the most doors for me in my 20s and even now aren't the people that I networked with, but the people who I had built a relationship with. And it's quite funny because we hear during our career that we need to network. And we think of that as just collecting a business card at a networking event or adding someone on LinkedIn. But actually building genuine connections with people you actually like and respect is often where some of the best opportunities come from. So think about how to, above and beyond the networking, connect as humans first. Maybe a shared interest, helping each other solve a problem, or just a good conversation that sticks with both of you. Instead of thinking about what people can do for you, think about what you can also do for them. Share interesting articles, make helpful introductions, celebrate their wins with them. Be the kind of person that others genuinely want to see succeed. Because when opportunities do come up, people don't think, oh, who do I know professionally? Very often they think, who do I actually like and trust? And that's the difference between networking and relationship building. Number 4, design your life intentionally.
yes, building relationships and networking is very important. But you don't overdo it, because overdoing it just seems like you're needy and you're so. But just network casually, friendly, and offer to serve rather than to receive. Like, network from a place of what, like she said, what can I do for you, as opposed to what I want you to do for me. So yeah, I think that's a great point.
I followed the classic blueprint. Go to school, go to university, get a job because that's what you do, applied for jobs in finance, and then continued on that path. And I thought I was actively choosing my life decisions, but really I was just following the default path and the milestones that society had laid out for me. And the scary thing is, the default path really isn't designed for your happiness. It's designed for other people's expectations. And the truth is, if you don't actively design your life, someone else will design it for you. Your boss will design your schedule. Social media will design your priorities. Society will design your definition of success. And actually, a really good question to ask yourself to know if you've intentionally designed your life or if you're just living by default is asking yourself the question, would I actively choose the life that I'm living right now? If I could start from scratch, is this the path that I would carve out for myself? Your 20s are the perfect time to start getting intentional about this before you become too set in your ways or too comfortable with the wrong path. Be intentional about crafting your life in this decade, about what you actually want before you become institutionalized and lose the voice that you have. By the way, if you are watching this thinking, I have no idea what life I want to design and whether I'm living the default life,
Yeah, like, this is the perfect time to be very intentional about the path you want to go in life. Remember, if you follow everybody on the path they follow, like everybody else, and you don't have to look too far to see. Just look around you. Look around at the people that do 9 to 5 jobs, working at places they don't like, under people they don't like, barely having time for themselves, only coming back to lie down and sleep, because that's all they have, that's all they can do once they're all tired out, giving 40, 50 years of their energy and life to somebody else, and then just discard it at the end of the day with minimal to nothing as pension and funds. Come on, man. Be very intentional. Craft your own life. A few years of people looking at you weird and laughing like, what's this guy doing? Is nothing compared to the rest of your life where you spend, in fact, gloating because you made it right. You did it, and you were right, and now you're free. Sometimes we have to go through that, the laughter, the mockery, the almost shame from feeling like, oh, we are lagging behind, because that's the path. That's what the path takes from us. That's what it takes to journey through that and then become successful, because the blueprint to success is everywhere. It's not a secret. It's not magic. It's not anything that's being hidden by the elites in the society. The blueprints to success are everywhere. Every mentor, everybody that's successful, everything they tell you, they're right. The reason why a lot of people don't succeed is that they don't stick to the blueprint long enough to see results. They give up. They don't see results quick enough because we are in an age of instant validation, instant gratification. If we do not see results in 3 weeks, we feel like it's a failure, when in fact, we need to be at this thing for as long as possible, as long as humanly possible. We could be at this for a year. You could be at this for 2 years. But think about it. If this is what you really want to do, you're going to be doing this anyway for the rest of your life. Why not just do it every single day? Don't look at it as years from now. Take it a day at a time. Just do what you want to do, and the things you're chasing, just make sure you do it every day at a time, because we don't live in years, we live in days. So just take it a day at a time. Today, work at it. Tomorrow, work at it. Next tomorrow, work at it. Don't think about how long it's going to take. Just work at it every day. And one day, you're king.
Or not. That is completely normal. Most of us don't just wake up knowing what we want to do. And so I've created a completely free financial life design workshop where we figure out what direction you want your life to go in, and then how you can rewrite your money story in a way that moves you closer towards your life goals rather than further away from them. Most people spend money in a way that keeps them stuck in this default path. But when you flip that and start using the money that you already have to design the life that you actually want, everything changes. Again, the workshop is completely free. You can find out more information in the description below. Number 5, think of your career as a portfolio, not a ladder. I
didn't want to skip it because it could actually be very beneficial for some of you. So, I could have skipped it to the next point, but no, I think if you're really interested in that, I think she knows what she's talking about.
To think building a career meant climbing a ladder. One clear path, one right direction. So I spent most of my 20s in banking, working my way up, only to get to the end of my 20s and realize that the ladder I've been climbing this entire time was leaning against the wrong wall. And now looking back, I realized that the mistake wasn't choosing the wrong path. It was just staying on it for way too long, out of fear, out of habit, out of wanting to not waste the years that I'd already put in. The modern career, it isn't a straight line. It's a portfolio. It's about collecting experiences and building a mix of skills, interests, and lessons that compound over time, even if they don't all fit neatly onto a CV. If I could do my 20s again, I would spend way more time exploring, trying different industries, saying yes to more projects that looked interesting, learning things just because they seemed cool, rather than if it impacted my promotion or my status or my pay. The skills I picked up whilst I was in banking, many of them I still use today, just in ways I never expected. And if I kept moving or doing something new, as soon as I felt like my learning was stagnating, I would have been able to accumulate even more skills and experience. So my point here is, instead of asking, is this my forever job? Ask yourself, what am I learning here that I can use anywhere? That one question makes sure that you are always learning, and it turns every role, even the ones you hate, into a stepping stone. And number 6.
Well, that's another one. Your path in life is not straight. It really is, And I think there's nuance to it, because you also need to know whether to stick with the ship or if the ship is sinking and you need to abandon it. You just have to have that direction in life, because there are some things that take time, and just because it takes time does not mean it's not working. That's the balance we need to be able to strike. If you're hitting your head against the wall and you're not seeing any cracks, chances are you need to stop. But if you're hitting your head against the wall and you're seeing crumbles and bits and pieces falling into place, a little shake here, a little crack here, you have to decide for yourself if you want to keep going at it, because you might really, stick around long enough for you to see you smash through that wall, but it's just a matter of decision making and discernment and prayer and God, because honestly, it's very easy for us to go the wrong way without a sort of direction in our life, which He provides. Also, I was going to say that it's also about the skills you learn. Even though you don't know you're learning some things, unconsciously you're building habits, you're building consistency, you're building discipline, you're building the habit to stick to something for a long period of time. These things, they don't show on your skin. Your mind probably doesn't even register it. Your problem solving skills that you develop through the time that you spend on something or a project over time, you don't realize that's what's going to happen or that's what's happening, but it leaks into other areas of your life. It leaks into other areas of the things you want to do, and then you don't realize it, but you're actively becoming the person that is required for you to finally get that breakthrough and become the person you want to be.
Enjoy the journey. There were moments in my 20s where I was so stressed about my career and trying to make the right move and get promoted as quickly as I can that I completely missed some really special times. And I remember being away for a weekend with my family, my immediate family, my extended family. And that entire weekend, my mind was in overdrive because I was anxious if I was going to land the job that I interviewed for the Friday before. And I kept checking my phone, I kept checking my emails, and spent the whole time in my head instead of just being present with my family. And it ended up being the last trip with my granddad. And I often look back on it wishing, I wish I just enjoyed it more and actually was there in the moment. Your 20s, even your 30s can feel like this constant state of once I get this job, or once I figure out my career, or once I have more money, then I'll be happy. But the truth is, there's always going to be another goal, another milestone, another thing to worry about. I'm not saying don't have ambitions.
I agree. I genuinely agree, and that hurts. That's hurt me here, even though it didn't happen to me. There are some things that happen, seasons for us, because we're supposed to appreciate what the season comes with. It might be quiet seasons where you're not seeing anything really happen in your life, but during that season, you're with the family, you're with, you're just enjoying the vibes of. Enjoy that period. Do not waste it. You don't know when's the last time you're going to see certain people. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So, as much as there's urgency in the way we think and do our things, especially when we're young, because we are in such a rush to have it figured out, we also need to chill. By the way, if you enjoyed this commentary and you enjoyed the way I put a spin on these topics, you can check out my other channel. It's called 10T3N. The link is in my description of this channel, and you get to listen to more takes that I have in longer and deeper forms, as opposed to short bursts here on the commentary channel. So yeah, if you enjoyed comment like that, please check out my other channel, 10, and yeah, I'll see you over there.
Or goals, those definitely matter, but don't let the pursuit of your future happiness rob you of your present happiness. Some of the best moments in your 20s are the random Tuesday nights with friends, or the spontaneous trips, or the conversations that go on until 3 a.m., even though it means you have less sleep before work the next morning. And that job that I was stressing about that weekend, I got it, but I ended up not even enjoying it that much and leaving the bank the next year. But I can never get that weekend back. Your 20s aren't a dress rehearsal for your real life. This is your real life. So work on those goals, but don't forget to actually live whilst you're doing it. Overall, as I was recording this video, I realized that the most important investment you can actually make in your 20s is becoming someone that you can truly rely on and take bets on. So you may as well build the habits, the skills, the discipline, the confidence to be that person for yourself. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a bit more of a life
Yeah, thank you so much for watching this video with me too. I hope you enjoyed the commentary. I hope you enjoyed my take on this similar subject. I'll drop the link to my other channel in the description here, so you can just tap on it and go. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you learned a few things. You might have known some others you didn't, but that's the point, to learn. Even I took one or two things from this video, And so yeah, thank you for watching this video. Like, share, subscribe, drop a comment if you will. It's been 10 and I'm out. Peace.